Stocks today on Wall Street rising a second straight day on signs that our economy grew in September and that European officials are being somewhat effective in trying to recapitalize and support struggling banks in the Eurozone. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 131 points. The S&P gained 20. The Nasdaq up 56 points. Stocks moved higher after a report on the nation's services sector showing continued expansion last month, topping expectations. Payroll processor ADP saying private companies added 91,000 jobs last month. That beat the forecasts of most economists. And turning now to three of my favorite American voices, WABC radio talk show host Mark Simone, Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch, political editor at townhall.com, Guy Benson. Good to have you all with us. Mark, let me start with you. The protesters down there on Wall Street, this is a big number now, 10,000 folks, and that's an estimate by one of our producers. That's fairly impressive, isn't it?
Well, I always thought the president had little chance of getting reelected in this economy. With these protests, which will build and build and build over the next year, he's going to lose by 20 points. Once the toothpaste gets out of the tube, you can't get it back in. This is going to spread. It's going to get violent.
Yeah.
Everybody was saying the Tea Party would hurt the Republicans. Look at this. And let me quote Ann Coulter, who said, these protesters, she said the Tea Party has three things these protesters don't have: a job, a shower, and a point, which these protesters don't have.
Well, you can always count on Ann. She's reliable in her analysis on these. Particularly, and she's going to be joining us here Friday, and we're going to talk about, since you brought it up, she'll be thrilled. The book is demonic about the liberal mob.
Well, she actually predicted that this would happen.
Yes, absolutely.
The mobs and all of this.
You think we would have her back just on any Friday? Guy, let me turn to you very quickly. Your reaction to what Mark said, that is that there is he more than suggested that there is a tie-in between these demonstrations and the political goals and purposes of the left in this country.
Well, we saw just today in Boston, a bunch of labor unions came out and endorsed Occupy Boston. Now, what exactly is happening at Occupy Boston? What is the point of Occupy Boston? Wall Street, you can at least see some sort of tie-in, but what's going on up in Beantown? And I think the most telling...
Are you suggesting Boston isn't worth the trouble?
Well, as a Yankees fan, I might. But I will say, Lou, that I think the most telling element here was one of the rabble-rousers, one of the main organizers of Occupy Wall Street was shouting out commands to the people who were showing up for this protest, and he said, "It doesn't matter what you're protesting, just protest." That is absolutely incoherent.
That was a direct quote?
Yeah, I read it. I'm trying to remember where I read it, but it was just a guy, "It doesn't matter what you're protesting, just do it."
Well, now that's a form of coherence anyway. Tom, your thoughts?
Well, these are a radical echo for the Obama campaign, these protesters. This is about as grassroots, as the Obama Chicago operation. You've got Acorn folks involved up there in Boston. You've got the unions. You've got the government unions involved. This is just democratic outreach. Obama's abandoned middle America in order to get reelected, and that's his choice, and this is the group he's appealing to, so it's rock on from his point of view to these crowds.
Rock on, but the numbers are rocking the White House. 40% strongly oppose this president's job performance in the latest Washington Post ABC News poll. These numbers get worse and worse for this president.
Oh, yeah, it's awful. And let me give you the current score. Tea Party protesters arrested first year, 0. Wall Street protesters arrested first month, 1,200. So he's going to have to deal with that. He's lost also his personal favorability rating. It's one thing when job approval drops. That happens a lot. But you don't usually lose personal favorability. People don't even like him anymore with that angry class warfare.
Governor Perry doing poorly in the polls, slipping a bit, but still maintaining first-tier status. Guy, what do you expect to unfold here as we see a contest right now, at least on the top tier, among Governor Romney, Governor Perry, and Herman Cain?
Well, I think we saw the final element of this puzzle fall into place today, which was Sarah Palin, just moments ago, as you reported, Lou, announcing that she's not going to run for president. So I think that, with Chris Christie out yesterday, that really solidifies this Republican field. It's pretty much at this point Mitt Romney against someone else. Who will conservatives coalesce around to try to stop Mitt Romney, who they believe has a number of apostasies and heresies on health care and other things? Right now, the person who seems to be gaining most of that momentum is Herman Cain. Rick Perry's hurt himself at a few of these debates. He's got to improve, and he's got to improve soon, but we saw him. He's raking in lots of money. That will help.
Tom, you get the last word. Tom Fitton.
It's whoever the Tea Party coalesces around, and they will just knock out all other opponents. And it's up for grabs. Cain, Santorum, Michelle Bachmann, whoever the Tea Party coalesces around, obviously Rick Perry's still in there, it will end the race rather quickly.
I think in the case of Santorum and Bachmann, they'd better put that the coalescence on fast forward. Thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate it, Guy. Thank you. Mark, thank you. Up next, flu season is here, but who's